Guild Wars 2's 4th expansion, Secrets of the Obscure, has been released for 2 days now, and I know keeping track of all the updates and information can be overwhelming, so I've put together this overview to highlight the key changes, features, and new content introduced in Secrets of the Obscure. I'll also provide some of my initial insights after the first 48 hours of gameplay. Spoiler alert though, whilst I won't talk about specific story plot points, I will need to provide a general context, and you will see parts of the new maps, characters, enemies, and events. As we saw in the trailer, the story starts with some strange activity related to the mysterious Wizard's Tower, and an unknown faction called the Astral Ward who appear to have been secretly protecting Tyria all these years from some ominous greater threat. So after following the story through the prologue, you'll find yourself in the Horn of Maguma region to the far northwest, where you'll learn more about the Astral Ward and what they are fighting. With the Elder Dragon saga concluded, ArenaNet took the opportunity to introduce some new characters. We don't actually see much of our usual team at all, but I did enjoy meeting and establishing some new characters. The story had some good moments of intrigue.
What are you?
You worry too much.
It was definitely refreshing to be dealing with something other than dragons, and overall, I quite enjoyed playing through the story arc we got, albeit a bit shorter than I would have liked, which is probably my biggest criticism. The story introduces 2 new maps, Skywatch Archipelago and Amnitas. Skywatch is a fantastic new zone that I really enjoyed playing through. It's a skybound chain of islands that all have a different biome type. Without giving too much away, the context for this is that these are fractal-style simulations used to research how the world could have been different after key events in the past. For example, what would the Crystal Desert have looked like if things had gone differently with Balthazar? Amnitas is broadly described as home to the Wizard's Court and Astral Ward. Again, a skybound group of islands, but with lots more structures this time. I found both these maps visually impressive and super interesting to explore through due to the variety of biomes, terrain, and scenery. And I think they definitely showed more potential in their design because they knew everyone would have a Skyscale. In addition to all the normal events and exploration activities, the main open world content introduced in this expansion is rift hunting. Early in the story, you get a new tool called the Heart of the Obscure, which you can use to find and interact with rifts all over the world, triggering incursions that you need to fight off. With some mastery and crafting, you can increase the rifts to tier 2 and 3 for tougher enemies and better rewards. The Heart of the Obscure also has its own mastery track to enable interaction with updrafts and treasure boxes throughout the world. As you'd expect, with all this comes a range of new map currencies and crafting materials, which you can use to buy relics, new crafting recipes, progress the new legendary collection, and so on. Weaponmaster training. As soon as you reach Skywatch, you'll get some mail telling you to go speak to Frode. This will unlock specialization weapons for all other specializations. For example, as a soul beast, I can now use a hammer, or conditioned druids can now use daggers. This will open up a number of new build opportunities for every profession, which is really exciting. Relics are a new type of trinket introduced in this expansion, which are designed to replace the 6-slot bonus component of runes. When you log in, you'll notice that your rune's 6-slot bonus effect will be gone, likely replaced with some raw stats, and you'll also have a new trinket slot to fill. There's a variety of relic effects available, many that essentially replaced the old rune effects, but they are a little different and not all of them made it across. Don't worry though, when you log in you'll be given a few loot chests that provide you with 3 selectable exotic relics to get you started. The Wizard's Vault has been another hallmark feature of this expansion, which, for those who are familiar, is similar to the trading post in World of Warcraft. It's a new reward system accessed by the new tab at the top of your screen, and in it, you'll have daily and weekly objectives which all provide some currency, which can be redeemed for a variety of cosmetics, mount skins, consumables, crafting materials, and even some ascended equipment by the looks of it. One thing I'll highlight is that when you first open it, or later in the settings, you can opt into different types of content which will change the objectives you get. For example, on day 1 I selected PvP and World vs World, and I got a mix of objectives, but I don't play those as much, so I removed them, and then on day 2 when it reset, all the 4 daily objectives were open world. I think this is a fantastic new system that gives players regular goals to work towards with relevant selectable rewards. No complaints from me. And of course, the Skyscale. Anyone following the expansion would know that a new streamlined version of the Skyscale was coming. So how does it work? Basically, as soon as you arrive in Skywatch, you're just handed a Skyscale so you can start exploring straight away. But it's only usable in the new Secrets of the Obscure maps. To unlock it permanently in all maps, you need to search these abandoned Skyscale nests until you find one with an egg, which will trigger a collection. You'll also get a new Skyscale mastery track to progress, and I highly recommend you go straight for the enhanced updrafts training, which will make your exploration a lot easier in these new maps. For those of you who had the Skyscale already, some of these masteries do double up, but you'll get a more enhanced effect. Finally, we have 2 new strikes, the Cosmic Observatory and the Temple of Thebe, with challenge modes to be released at a later stage. Now overall, I've had a great time so far in Secrets of the Obscure, and for a one-time purchase of only $25, I definitely recommend getting it and having a look yourself. But without diving into a full review, my biggest criticism is that there just isn't as much content as I would have liked. Before I looked it up, I actually assumed there would be more than 2 maps, considering that the previous expansions all had 4 or 5. And I was disappointed when there wasn't more. This isn't an oversight or mistake though. This is the first of ArenaNet's new content delivery model, designed to provide a more regular cadence of content, with major releases roughly once every quarter. This article outlines the release plan for more maps, story, content, and features. So with this news, I was definitely happier, and looking forward to how it plays out. I definitely recommend having a read of this. I'll link it in the description. So that's my overview. I hope this helped break down the content and changes for everyone. Thanks for listening. Cheers.